Good morning. January 9th, 2021. Happy New Year, good people. We're back. This is Spade of Spades podcast. We have two special guests in the building. We have
special.
We got our sisters, Chanel and Carson from That's Why You're Blocked podcast.
Go follow us on Instagram.
Love the name. I love the name.
Thank you. Who came up with it? I think one of our guests came up with it.
Well, yeah, but we had a whole bunch of names as we
It took 3 weeks.
So long to come up with a name. But thank you guys for having us.
No problem.
No problem. Yeah, I was gonna actually ask y'all what made y'all come up with that name.
Okay, so
Yeah, I'm gonna let you go ahead and take that one.
I guess we knew what we wanted to talk about, and it was because the stuff that happened, a lot of the phrases that we said was like the shit that comes to our phone. That was something I'm like, girl, this is the shit that came to my phone this week, and then we would just go back and forth, and it'd be like dumb bitch alert. We used to say that a lot too, ding ding ding.
Yeah, we need a bell. We need a bell just like this one for the dumb bitch alerts.
Because we were making some dumbass decisions, and it just kind of, I don't know, it kind of birthed itself. Like I said, our guests, our good friends were helping us in the process because we knew we had a lot of stories that we wanted to talk about. We just didn't know what to title it all. So what happens is we had a list of 4 names, and they were like, all right, let's just put it to a vote. Let's ask some people. What's your top? And then we kind of went that from that. So.
Yep, and you can block a lot of things. You can, you can block people. You can block people on the phone. You can block political ideas. You can block so many different things. So it kind of, it's a nice umbrella for everything.
And that's exactly what I was going to ask y'all because when I seen it, I thought, okay, they talking about us.
Y'all
talking about us.
Just think of it as
y'all have a lot of things that we could pull from.
Yeah. So that's cool. Yeah,
that is cool.
But no, it's not. It's a lot of things. We plan to get more into it. I think our first season, because we just started. We're really new into this.
September.
Yeah, so we're definitely a quarantine baby podcast.
Okay.
So, but
no problem. I loved it. Listening to it, I loved it.
Really?
Yeah.
Thank you.
No problem.
No, I like listening to y'all, but I'm like, wow, they're just so much fancier than we are. That's
I
all
know.
I
I tell you, we're recording an apartment or somebody's home that's available.
Yes.
That's all this guy.
I mean, we just starting. It's been almost a year, so
I'm riding on their coattails. You know what I'm saying? Yeah.
So before we dive into the gender related stuff, what did y'all think of what happened down in the city on Wednesday?
Oh my gosh. If you ever needed a reminder that racism exists, if you ever needed a reminder that white privilege is real and it's not something black people came up with to complain about, there it was.
Yeah.
That was ridiculous. They let them in.
Took selfies.
They let them in.
I was going to say, we got in trouble for just walking in a straight line. All we were just trying to do, we weren't even trying to talk to nobody.
They was tear gassing us, and we was laying down. We laying down for George Floyd, and they tear gassing us, and they acting a plump fool down there.
You walk in, bust through the door. It's crazy, but it just goes to show that it's not a fair fight. It's not a fair race, and it probably won't ever be.
It's ridiculous. I told in the past, a couple episodes ago, I was saying how deeply rooted the country is. In hate. Mm-hmm. You can see I've been seeing we've been this last year. You seen it, but what happened down in the Capitol is just an explosion of built up frustration that they had that we've been dealing with since we've been born. You know what I'm saying? Mm-hmm. And they think, you know what I'm saying, because we chose a president that it doesn't matter. Our vote don't matter. We matter. So we're going to go down there and we're going to do what we're supposed to do and then get mad that one person got shot. If it was us, it would have been a whole massacre.
It would have bombed.
We would not have gotten
a whole massacre.
anywhere
We wouldn't have got that
close.
close to that.
Yeah, it would have been hundreds.
We wouldn't even been able to get that close. But I mean, this country, the foundation of this country is all built off of slavery, racism, and all that stuff, and genocide. All the reason why we're so rich is because we had 200, 300 years of unpaid labor to start us off. So it's nothing new. And and then when you even think about how long we've been free, Ruby Bridges is not even 70, I don't think.
No,
the girl who had to have government officials, marshals
Elementary
escort
school
her
student.
to school, I don't think is over 65 at this point. So it's not.
Well, the
that
system
long.
works the way it's supposed to work. It's not. It's by design. It's not even like the fact that black men or men, period, cannot live in government assisted homes. That's like the actual tearing apart of families on purpose, so that children grow up without father. Cycle continues. It's like so many different things. It's like, oh, well, you thought you were going to college and succeed, and you thought you were going to upward mobile yourself. No, we got something that's going to stop you right here. We got something that's going to stop you right there.
They know to break up the black family, they got to take away the black man. So I know I was looking at Dr. Umar, and I talked about this in another podcast, and he was saying that back in the day, to take away the black man, provide for the family, they took away a lot of the factories. So like there was a lot of the factories where you ain't really had to have no education to provide for your family. They took away that. Then the three stripes, the bill, that took away the black
Mass
family.
incarceration.
So they know to take away the black family and the power of black people, you got to take away the black man.
Right.
And that's what they did. And some of the stuff they was doing down there was just ridiculous. The lady that was claiming that she had mace, whole time she had a whole onion in her rag, and she just wiped. It was just the ridiculous stuff that they was doing down there. But we the riders, we Black Lives Matter, we the terrorists. But that was a whole terrorist attack.
Right.
Yeah.
Yeah.
White people are the biggest terrorists I've ever seen.
Exactly. KKK is the biggest terrorist organization we got.
Yeah. Well, homegrown anyway.
Homegrown, yeah.
When I got home from work, I immediately turned on the TV to see like what was going on, and I was just sitting on my couch thinking like, it's not gonna get, it can't get real bad because, I got faith in law enforcement, right? That they're gonna do their job, right? And then things just got progressively worse and worse and worse and worse and worse and worse. And then he finally got to the part where they was reporting that, the Capitol been breached. Last time the Capitol been breached was the War 1812.
Wow. I didn't know that.
Yeah.
From Great Britain.
I don't think I paid attention to history like that.
Was it
I was saying
18?
Like
no,
a-
No,
Teaching
it was the
county
War of
education.
1812. That was the last time the Capitol been breached.
But that's why it's the White House, because remember the thing on Lovecraft? They talked about
Oh,
it.
you're right. That's why I'm getting my information.
Show out of control. But
That
go
show
ahead.
That
was
is
wild.
amazing.
It's
It
amazing.
was such a good
So
show.
for a long time, I wasn't trying to watch, and the
Oh
person
my
like, you
God.
gotta watch, and I was like, this shit is slow. The first 20 minutes were slow.
That is how you build a we've gotten in many arguments about that. Like, it's the first episode. You got to build up till all the excitement, but she was not trying to watch it. But
It depends on the people. The person.
I like something that hooks me in 10 minutes. Flat.
Okay, you got through the first episode.
After the first episode, I was hooked. However, it doesn't matter. We're here now. I've seen it. Okay, it's okay.
It's a good
I've
show.
seen it.
It's a good show.
But
Real good.
yeah, so it's been a long time since it happened. But the thing that's disturbing is the fact that it was done by Americans. People who claim they're patriotic, right?
Inside.
Waving the American flag. Then you had the Confederate flag there.
That's
They mean the
such
same
a
thing.
contradiction,
I was
bro.
Nah,
like,
it
they
is.
the same thing. It's-
But it's still a contradiction at the same time because the civil right, the Confederate flag was back in the day when they were trying to overthrow the government because they wanted slaves, right? So how you for America, but you got a flag that's against the government?
And the Confederate flag that they're waving was not the Confederate flag from that point. From what I understand, it's something like it's like 30 or 40 years old, the one that they have now. It was because they started to institute, affirmative action and things like that, where they were getting rid of segregation, that this is their protest for that. They did not want us to be integrated. So this is not even like the flag from the Civil War. This is new, like...
But even then, like the Confederate Army fought to keep us enslaved.
Exactly.
And then you still, you have people who was walking around there down in the city with it, that breached the Capitol. Obviously, speaking from history, knowing that the Confederate Army tried to keep us enslaved, and then you got these people running wild down the city getting no resistance, and then you got police taking selfies with them.
Because they're co-workers.
helping
Down the stairs.
them come through. How you vandalize the Capitol and then you get to walk home?
I was like, because you work at the Capitol. These are honestly, the people who were there are people who worked there on like Tuesdays and was off this Wednesday. This the same people. Cloak, no cloak. They're all coworkers. They're friends. This is family. It's not like it's a different. Like, how could they do that? Cause they buddies. He would have done it too, but he had to clock in.
Family they was coming from everywhere.
Yeah, and that's what I was getting ready to say. Because most, like 99% of the people that was there weren't even from the area.
Wow.
They flew in to do what they did, and that's what makes it more disturbing is the fact that the police officers who actually worked down at the Capitol assisted them in what they were trying to do.
Did you see how strapped up they was in that Black Lives Matter protest?
Yeah, they had the National Guard ready,
strapped up, and then
ready
they tried
for
to
us.
have the National Guard, and then got denied.
Well, and the mayor, she had called up the National Guard. I think like what was it, Monday evening or Tuesday, and for whatever reason, like when Wednesday came, they still weren't down like before it all happened.
She got denied.
No. She called up the DC National Guard.
Okay.
Like I think Monday evening or Tuesday, but they still weren't even there Wednesday. They weren't there Wednesday morning.
Yeah, I read something on the news where it was like she tried to get them deploy the National Guard. They would not let her. She got denied.
Well, I know Larry Hogan. He tried to get the Maryland National Guard to go down there, and the Pentagon was like, no.
Wow.
It's ridiculous. They was down there acting a plum fool.
So I mean, that just goes to show you that you got people that's high up in our government that's all in on this as well.
Didn't he say that? He said, "Make America great again." The president. That was his response to everything that would happen. It was like, we're trying to make America great again.
When was it ever great for us? For us, anyway.
Exactly. And my thing is, when they was down there tearing stuff up in Portland, and they was like, anybody who mess up any government grounds or monuments, they will get 10 years in prison. What's all that energy now? With these people, what they did to the Capitol. The lady from CNN, Tommy Lauren, I really hate this lady. Like, I hate her. She said, when Biden lose, his quote unquote supporters is going to riot.
That's not true.
It's going to mess shit up basically.
Yeah, that's not true.
But the Trump supporters, we're going to go to work like nothing else happened.
Was that CNN or Fox News?
One or two. It was Tommy Lauren.
That's Fox.
Lauren.
That's Fox.
That's Fox.
That's Fox News. Yeah.
I don't even.
Yeah, that's Fox News.
I don't like her. That's the shut up and dribble lady. I don't.
Yeah.
Oh.
That's Fox News. Yeah.
Man, the kids. Yeah. How she have a job? That's how racist this country is. She has a job on Fox News. That's crazy to me.
I mean, Fox News is Fox News. I mean, Fox News is
but
conservative.
But you see how deeply rooted.
Yeah. A
whole network is not ashamed of being racist at all. You know what I'm saying? It's ridiculous. It don't make no sense to me. It really doesn't.
Well, and what was and then they was also saying, oh, what they say, we losing our country, or we taking our country back from what? From what?
Browning, like this is the Browning of America, and they are scared shitless that for the first time in forever they don't have the #1 spot, or they won't.
I mean, that's what
they see it slowly but surely trying to take the power that y'all
it's something that they stole. It wasn't even theirs to begin with.
And like you said, it's not a fair fight. Like, black people could be president, have all these other positions if you would get your foot off of our neck. Like, we could have all these things if it was a fair fight.
I just don't understand why they go through all this instead of just being in harmony. Like, you would still be good.
Or if they would just let us have us our own. Like, they don't even let us have our own communities or own.
Remember, that's what Quan said.
Like, that's the thing that's crazy to me. We can't be a part of yours. You don't want us in your thing. So if we go over here, right, and start making progress, all you're going to do is come up and fuck that up.
Like they did in Black Wall Street.
Yeah, we had our own thing,
There's the fucking race riot in D.C., in Chicago. Like, it's been everywhere in history. It's like, they won't let us have our own, but we can't have theirs. And that's the thing that I don't get. Yeah. And it's not even theirs to begin with. They pushed all the Native Americans, killed, genocide, all that, pushed them, erased their history, and then won't even... It's just crazy.
How you gonna say go back to your country and you not in yours?
Yeah.
Make it make sense. It doesn't make any
They
sense.
not from here either.
They're really not.
It doesn't make any sense.
We not from here either.
No, y'all
We
took us from
we
here.
didn't ask to
How
be
you
here.
gonna say, how you gonna say go back to your country? You brought me in here.
Right. Yeah.
And now that I don't want to work.
I would have
for
probably
free,
been
it's
from
a problem.
Kenya if it wasn't for
Right.
y'all. You know what I'm saying? We would have been in Africa, probably chilling. You know what I'm saying?
The royalties, a lot of them, we're more related than they think. Like, a lot of passing people go up north, and like I remember a thing where they had a special on like the KKK, and what they found out, a lot of their members were actually really like mixed and stuff, and people so that when they were able to pass, they would go up, and it's not like pure Aryan. So this whole idea of like, oh, go back to your country, like, come on with me, cousin, we gotta go together, like, you get on the boat too.
Yeah.
The only reason why y'all got a different hue because y'all was in the mountains and y'all skin tone changed. But we all from the same place.
For real.
For real. We all from the same place.
Yeah. And that's why like a lot of I'm not going to pick on Puerto Ricans, but a lot of Puerto Ricans believe they're white.
The Dominicans, I know black.
You know, they believe they're white. Like especially down in Florida.
Oh.
They believe they're white, but you're not. You're black.
It's ridiculous.
You're black.
But I think even like, when we look at those type of countries, like we've had a civil rights movement. A lot of other places like Brazil and a lot of in the Caribbean, they haven't had that. So it's still extremely segregated and colorist and all. Like it's bad here, but like
it's real bad in other countries.
It's worse there. There's a famous Brazilian painting, right, of a black woman, and that she married a Portuguese man and had like a mixed race baby, and then she married another white man, and in the picture the black woman's praising God that her bloodline is clean. Like that, it's crazy down there, and in a lot of places. So like as far as we are, we're very far. Like we're still better than most.
Yeah, not even that. One of my friends is Filipino, and when she went to the Philippines, she was telling me how colorism is over there, and I'm like, that doesn't make any sense. How you gonna be racist in between your own culture? That doesn't make any sense.
What?
That came from that mentality that white folks gave us. That home nigga, the house nigga.
And we do it to ourselves
you know what I'm
now.
saying? The lighter you are, the more you can interact with us. You don't gotta be in the field. You light. You can come in the house. You know what I'm saying? So they thought they was better than the regular the black folks because they can able to to interact with white people. That doesn't make you better. That doesn't. I don't get it. I really don't get
there
colorism.
it is. See, that's the picture.
Appreciate you, bro.
Yeah.
Yes, sir.
That's what I was talking about. But yeah, that's a famous painting. She's praising God that her bloodline is white now.
Wow.
That's crazy.
But
that's that brainwashing.
Yeah.
And it all started a very, very long time ago, and we still dealing with it to this day.
And like the crazy part is only because we're closer to the equator. Like the whole issue is just we were closer
geographically,
just closer to the sun. Like when you break down DNA, like the differences are so minuscule.
We're 99% the same.
And it's just because we were closer to the equator,
right,
than further away.
Yeah, race is a social construct. Like there's only one race, and that's the human race.
Thank you.
Yeah, to be honest.
Yeah, and something else that was really disturbing about, the whole thing down in D.C., just looking at the reaction from different people who are not us, they were basically saying, oh, well, what about all the riots from last summer? You can't compare people.
They were in the riots.
You can't compare people screaming for equality.
And it wasn't like the people, when I watched the videos of people breaking into the stores, they looked like the same people that were storming the Capitol.
Oh, there was extremists that set up the riots, and monkey see, monkey do. You know what I'm saying? Once you see people start, destroying shit, there's gonna be a couple dummies that's gonna be.
But most of the protesters, they were peaceful.
It was peaceful.
And I'm like, when I've seen the clips of people breaking in, there was a certain people that look
white people looking for Target.
There was you see the white
machines.
Yeah,
you see the white person that I forgot when they shot the dude by the Wendy's and she burnt the Wendy down.
Wow.
When they shot them, the starting stage, it's extremists. It don't make no sense.
You can't compare them for one because black people are the only people who have to watch someone who looks like them die on camera over and over and over again and go to work the next day like nothing happened.
Yeah, and what they fail to realize is like at heart, like we're really peaceful people.
we're not asking for like reparations or a whole bunch.
Oh no, no. I want reparations.
No, but I'm saying like as a whole. Like,
Got them because look at how fast that stimulus check came out.
Yeah, exactly. Or even like it's not like we're asking to like go tit for tat. We're literally just asking like stop murdering us, please. It's not even like meanly. Like I would like to live. I would like my family and my kids to live. It's not even like we're asking or coming to them with violence. It's literally like I just want to live.
Exactly. And with us saying that, our other brothers and sisters, we need to stop killing ourselves as well.
Is that a street?
A little bit. I feel like, yes, as a whole, like we should like violence as a community, as a human race. I feel like we should work on that. But a lot of times, I feel like they're two black people. I'm not killing you because you're black. I'm killing you because you stole money. Like I'm not saying that's right, but it's a different argument. Like people die. Like I was with my family and we got stopped because it didn't, to this white police officer, it didn't make sense that a family of black people would have a nice car leaving a restaurant that you saw us like walk out of. And then they had the nerve to tell my dad. They looked at his record. He went all the way back like, wow, like you don't have a record. That's surprising. Like I went all the way back. I went to back when you were in college. Like, you don't have any record? So I don't think it's not the same argument, at least in my mind. Like
I wasn't saying it was the same argument, but I'm saying it's counterproductive because you can't scream Black Lives Matter and then go shoot your man.
No, I agree.
Man,
you can't, and that's what they look at. They look at that like y'all killing yourself. Why y'all mad that they doing their job? Because that's basically how they think.
I understand that. I think you kill where you're near. Black people, you're near. There are a lot of white people who kill white people too. And then the thing is, when black people, if I shot him, I would go to jail, right? Yeah. But if an officer shot him, he would get paid time. It's paid time off. So that's, I think, the biggest issue. It's not an equal footing for the same crime.
Not at all. And you seem like act like, especially in Minnesota when George Floyd died. I read where it was an officer when he was he accidentally shot a lady in the shoulder. 12 years. He was black. 12 years.
Yeah.
12 years.
Wow. For someone kneeling with all their body weight on someone's neck is
and murder them. You having a chokehold on a man. Chokehold on a man. A whole MMA movie. That was a rear naked chokehold.
You talking about with Eric Gardner?
With Eric Gardner.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? He stole some. Dude stole some Dutchess. Mike Brown. And you shot that man over Dutchess.
I was like, somebody had on a hoodie, and he died.
And had an Arizona and some Skittles. And that man's still around talking reckless.
I was like, y'all forwarded it.
It doesn't make any sense.
Trayvon Martin
went to go exercise,
home.
Bro.
Yeah.
He went to go exercise, to go run. That hurt, because that was pure hatred, bro. They tracked that man down. You saw the fright on that man's face. That didn't make no sense. I think he was studying to be an architect or something. He was just looking at, the houses just to see how they set it up.
He was fascinated by it.
Yeah, he was fascinated by it. And you couldn't think, oh, he's black, he got to be doing something wrong. And I hunted that man down. And documented it.
Yeah, and thought you was going to walk scot-free.
It's ridiculous.
They were until people got that video leaked.
Yeah.
Or it got punished because people found out about it. Or you could be at your house and you're in your bed sleeping, and they come in and they shoot you, and it's like, dang, my bad, but like not really.
Or you go outside, go play with your games, and then all of a sudden go outside and all of a sudden you just disappeared and you in a random cornfield, but that you got drowned. I forgot the little boy name. It's so terrible what they do to us.
I know who you talking about.
Yeah, you know who I'm talking about, bro.
Yeah, I can't think of the name.
Yeah, I forgot his name. No, not
Emmett Till. No, Emmett Till was mutilated.
No, he was mutilated. That's a totally different thing. It was a young boy. I forgot what he was doing outside, but the last person to see him was a white person. That usually, I think she watched over him or something like that. But all of a sudden, he was drowned, but he was lay in the cornfield. How does that work?
Or there's another case where they had a special needs black kid, and this is a high school, and they found him. They wrapped him up in like a wrestling match and said it was suicide.
Oh yeah, I remember that one.
Black crime right there though.
I thought it was white people.
Was it?
I'm pretty sure.
I think it was.
It was white people.
That's sick.
And like this was wrestling people. Like they said
it was his teammates.
Yeah, they
Yeah.
had him. He was
I
wrapped
thought
up.
it was black.
No.
They was white?
Yes, that's why they didn't.
Ah.
That's why nothing happened.
White teenagers.
Well, even like on a smaller level, you know how, and I'm pretty sure y'all have experienced this, but you know, going to the mall, right? Going to a store, you go inside the store, you see something you like, you know, and then all of a sudden you got an associate following you around. Why are you following me?
Well, you know what's crazy? So I used to work in Bowie Town Center, and this store is closed now, so I'm going to say the name. I used to work in New York and Company.
Okay.
And my manager, she was white. And Bowie's the more upper scale of PG County, but it's still pretty much black. We get a lot of black ladies that come in there. And my white manager used to tell me, you know, when a man comes in here, you know, and they're usually going to be black men, like, you know, ask him up front, like kind of basically follow him. And, like, that was, like, protocol. And I was just like, okay, I guess I'm supposed to do, like, I guess I'm supposed to do that. But I can recall going to Annapolis, because when we were younger, Annapolis was the mall to go to.
Yep,
you're not going to Landover. You're not going to, like, any other PG County malls. If you want something
Landover
nice,
Mall was lit, though.
If you want something nice,
Landover.
Landover Mall was lit,
they tore
though.
it down, but, like, okay,
Yeah.
if you want
That was
something
our spot.
nice.
That was our spot, yeah.
If you want something nice, you're going to go to Annapolis. So me and my mom used to take us out to Annapolis, like, often. And I recall being in, like, a Macy's dressing room with one of my best friends. We were, like, 14. We're trying to, like, we're teenage girls. Like, we're trying on things. And that's the culture. Like, a lot of, like, little white teenagers came to the same store. This white lady, like, tracked us down and was like, are you okay? What are you doing here? It's a store. I'm shopping.
What are you doing here? Damn, I can't shop and give you business.
Right.
Exactly.
And then try to make us think like we're crazy. Like, oh, it's not because you're black. Did you ask Becky?
I mean, the whole microaggressions.
Nope.
Like, I feel like as black people, a lot of times it's crazy how you've got to choose. It's like, okay, if I say something, like, you got to go through all of these with, like, all right, if I say something, I'll be the angry black woman, so I can't say anything. But, like, they really got me fucked up and all this other stuff. I went to a PWI, so, like, a lot of times, and coming from this area, predominantly white institution.
Oh, okay. All right.
Nah, you good. And so, like, coming from this area where most people look like me, like, I've been in black schools my whole life. Like, granted, I used to swim, so I was definitely in a majority white sport. But I was still on, like, a black swim team. Like, I've been in an anomaly, like, my whole life.
I was on something, too. I understand.
Yeah, like a little bubble. So, I'm
PG
going...
County is a bubble.
And so, like, one of the reasons why I was really glad that I went out of that bubble is to understand how the world works. Because a lot of times when you're here, I only am around people who think like me, look like me. So, like, I can't see or understand and comprehend how, like, they think.
Other side work, yeah.
And, like, being in that environment, like, it's really crazy. I felt like I definitely learned just a whole bunch about that. Because I remember I had one of my best friends from school, he had a roommate that was a white guy. And we got into an argument, and it was about the Trayvon Martin thing, because this is in, 2014, so it just happened.
It just happened.
And he was like, the first time I ever been around somebody that, like, watched Fox and, like, believed them. Like they're like, yeah, like, he was,
Believed them.
like, he believed that a grown man
He was aggressive.
was right and to think that this boy was gonna, like, that Trayvon was the aggressor. And, like, until that point, I'd never been around somebody that I'm like,
who thought that?
Like, you really
think that,
or like you could look at what I'm looking at,
and
that's what you get. And that was crazy. And there was a lot of other small things. And I feel like as black people, it's kind of like being like stung like by a mosquito or a bit. Like, to a white person, I'm like, oh, that's not bad. It's just a little bite. But when you've been getting bit for like
for a long time,
300 years, like, it's a lot. So, like, you react. And they like, oh, it's just like, oh, I didn't mean it like that. Like, it wasn't really like that. But, like, when you're like this,
I would love to have the privilege to choose.
Yes.
But I don't. I would love to have the privilege to say, you know what, I think that this is unfair. So I'm going to go to this person's office who made this unfair decision, and I'm going to fuck some shit up. And I hope to go home. I don't know what that's like to be able to know in my mind, I probably will get off from this scot-free. White people are not afraid of the police.
They're not.
They're not afraid of most things, like, at all, except for black people, which is weird because we don't do the oppressing.
But
and they're the real terrorists.
They culture appropriate, what's the word?
Cultural appropriate.
Culture vultures.
I said they steal everything.
They steal all our stuff.
And then it's only good until they like it. Like
cornrows,
braids, big booties, certain curves, tan skin, like all of this.
Tattoos.
When it's with us, it's an issue.
Yeah.
It's ghetto.
Yeah.
It's all these other things, but when they do it, it's pretty. It's
look and see what they think what beauty is. When it comes to beauty, it's like you have to have pretty eyes and straight hair, like how the white woman is. But the only beauty that they take from us is extremely sexual. The hips, the curves, the ass. You know what I'm saying? Our brown eyes can't be beautiful. You know what I'm saying? Our fat noses can't be beautiful. You know what I'm saying? Y'all want our lips because y'all get, what was it called? What's it called?
Injections,
yeah, Botox and all that shit. You know what I'm saying? It don't make any sense to me. You know what I'm saying? Y'all want to be us so bad, but now y'all want us to stay down, though. We want to take everything from you, but we want you to, you know what I'm saying, not say nothing and let everything be everything.
Yeah, I don't think it's as big of a problem now, but like a lot of our, black girls and black women now are more becoming accepting of themselves instead of wanting to
stand down.
Instead of wanting to look like a white woman, because the perception was, well, if I can look like them, then I won't be stereotyped, or I won't be messed with, or I won't be bothered. But that's not the case.
If you were going to school like back in like the early 2000s with an afro, girl, why didn't your mama do your hair?
Right, exactly, yeah.
I think this year was the first year that I wore like an afro to work and felt like comfortable. And honestly, I only did it because it was virtual. And I work in Baltimore City, like I work at a school. And even then, I felt like, I don't know if this is professional. I don't know if I have to slick this down. But my kids, who also look like me, really like it. And it's like, it's a representation.
It's empowering.
Growing up in PG County, I don't think 90% of my teachers were black women, and most of them didn't have natural hair until like the latter part of my schooling.
Okay.
So I saw like relaxers and perms. So I'm thinking like, this is when you're a professional black woman, this is what you look like. But now that tide is turning, like, and it's so amazing to see. Like, I always compliment my girls on like, your hair looks so cute. Even when she thinks it's nappy, even when some little musty, ashy ankle boy wants to call her out for it, I'ma tell her that it looks good.
And we've talked about this on the show before, but like between us, like us men, like it's easy for us to like us give each other compliments, but with you all, it's like it's so difficult because it's like I don't know, like a lot of women, like you guys know, like when someone's like gritting on you, like for no apparent reason, just because.
I think what happens is, as women, we're kind of put on the defense a lot because a lot of people aren't mostly genuine in experiences, and then women are like the big proponent of backhand compliments. Like, oh, I like that. That's a nice shirt.
I wouldn't have the confidence to wear it, but it looks good for you.
It's like you're just, but not even that.
And then even I wouldn't try it, but hey.
And even like when guys give you compliments and certain things, a lot of times it's not just to give a compliment. It's because I want a reaction because I'm expecting something. And like very rarely are people genuine, like, oh, you look nice. And I think a lot of times as girls and stuff, we're kind of like told to like not really like, oh, play it down, you gotta be modest. You're like, oh, thank you. Like, oh no, it's okay, it's just nothing, I didn't do much. I hate
when I give someone a compliment and they go through all these delineations. But I gave you a compliment, chill out.
So
just say thank you.
Yeah, but I think that as we have definitely gotten a whole lot better with embracing ourselves and trying to change the standard of beauty. I think, but like I still think there's a long way to go. Like especially in day-to-day life, like online, it seems like people are a lot more inclusive, but like to me it's extremely shallow because it doesn't seem genuine. Like when you have like a brown-skinned woman, all the compliments, or if they're darker, like, oh my god, her melanin, look at her skin,
chocolate, she gotta be oiled up too for
and then but instead of just saying she's cute or she's pretty, it's always like, oh my god, her melanin, the melanated queen, oh my goodness, the chocolate skin, oh I love
the
it,
Hotep vibes.
Why can't we just be a queen? mean? Why we can't just be a queen?
Or it's like, why can't she just be pretty?
Yeah.
And then another thing to me is like, all right, let's say I'm dark. I don't think of myself as completely, but I'm brown. But let's say I'm very, very melanated, right? And I don't have nice skin. So like the compliment is like, it won't even work for me. Mm. So to me, it's more of like granted, it's a lot better, but there's still a lot more work to do. To me, it seems a lot shallow, especially in everyday life, because those comments are still there. People are like, ooh, you're a little dark for that. Like, I wouldn't wear that color, or you shouldn't do that. Mm.
Yeah, growing up in PG and DC is
it's a blessing.
It's a blessing, but it's tough, man. You gotta have thick skin.
You gotta have. For real, me going down to college, I'm kind of glad that I was from here. You know what I'm saying? Because I went to Alabama. Mm-hmm. Even though I went to HBCU, I was in Alabama.
Me too. Roll Tide.
I went to Tuskegee.
Oh, okay. I went to HBCU.
Yeah. So you went to Alabama?
Alabama. I was in Tuscaloosa.
Wow. See, I was on the other side. See, I was right in the middle of Auburn and Montgomery.
Oh.
Yeah, so I wasn't even on the map. So we was like right in the hood. Like I tell you about, Tuskegee is like putting university right in the middle of Berry Farms.
I was gonna say, I don't know.
You like, bro, we was in the hood.
A lot of HBCUs, a lot of schools, period, are in urban areas.
I really hate that. I really hate that. Like that.
The college town. As soon as you like get off like the college main street, for a lot of places, it's really sketchy.
It doesn't make any sense.
So I go to Morgan now, and I'm getting a master's in higher education. So like my whole entire degree is on like college, and a lot of colleges were formed in these urban cities just for the setup, because colleges are supposed to function like little cities. Mm-hmm. We look at colleges, they're supposed to be transforming students into being the next leaders of tomorrow, the next doctors, lawyers, business owners, everything. So that's why they're typically in urban settings. If you go to a college out in West Bubblefuck, how many opportunities are you really being able to give your students?
Urban settings and the hood is two different things.
Hoods are usually okay, but think about like hoods, and think about like, you know, the other side of town has something different.
You know, I'm just saying though, like College Park, like Maryland. You know what I'm saying?
Wouldn't even know that was PG.
You know what I'm saying? But I'm saying though, why they had to be in the hood? I mean, like when I go out to go to the corner store, it's pit bulls fighting on the corner. You know what I'm saying?
And see, UMD's in a perfect spot
but
too.
UMD has also bought up all the land around UMD, so you got to get on the Beltway to get away from UMD. And even if you get on the Beltway, there are pieces of UMD in Largo. There are pieces of UMD everywhere. UMD is strategic in that this
a cute little bubble.
If we had it our way, College Park would extend and keep extending, and that's what they do it. And some other colleges just can't afford to build around and build up upcoming communities and Whole Foods like UMD can.
Yeah, no, I understand that. That's why we need more money in the HBCUs. I just don't understand. In a lot of HBCUs, it's not like it's just like a little hood. No, we in the grimy hood. Like Howard is right around the corner from Georgia Ave. Y'all see what happened at the Caribbean Fest?
McDonald's?
What?
Yeah. We went to last Howard homecoming we went to. I learned how suburban my ass really was up in there.
I was gonna say, just did.
That's why we gotta protect Deion Sanders at all costs.
Yes. Bro, when he did that, I was like, bro, yes.
What he's doing.
I say, yes, bro.
Because what he's doing is going to change.
He went to Jackson State. I was like, yes. And his son followed him. I was like, yes.
Legacy.
Yes.
Because what he's doing is going to change everything.
It's going to change.
I don't know about them $60 tickets. See, HBCUs are different when it comes to game day. Look, I only went to games because it was in my tuition, to be honest. Whereas I know you said Roll Tide, like how much were the tickets for a game if you weren't a student?
Oh, it's expensive.
It's
I mean, the thing
that's Division I right there.
I was like,
that's true.
That's top of the top right
there. So
there.
like, it's a difference, and my dad put it away for like a lot of these. For like really big, these up and coming athletes, a lot of the reasons that they go to these bigger schools is just resources.
Yeah.
Like if I only get a pair of shoes, if I break them, like if I go to Alabama, all I gotta do is say I need a new pair of shoes,
and they got you,
and it'll be there before I finish that sentence.
When I was in Tuskegee, I had to go to a shuttle, go down the mall and buy myself, and came back up. You know what I'm saying? It's a difference. That's like the top of the top. You know what I'm saying? Especially in Alabama. In Alabama, they don't have no sports teams. They don't have no professional teams.
So like
so that's their squad. Like they like not even just with Auburn in Alabama. With Tuskegee too, and all the schools is in Alabama, they take that hard because that's all they got. College sports is their sports. Right. High school is their sports. So they treat it as such. So it's a lot of pressure. I thought it wasn't gonna be that,
but the
like that
HBCUs can easily be that too.
It is. I mean, no. And as far as
it can become that because
it can if the right
90% of, if not more,
of the athletes
are black.
Are black.
That's what I don't like.
So just imagine the power shift.
Exactly. And if the black athlete put resources into the HBCUs, we will have that. Yeah. Right. And if a lot of the high level recruits, I forgot the dude name that he was thinking about going to the HBCU. I'm like, go to a HBCU, cause you're gonna be there for 1 year anyway.
My kid's going to a black university.
You know what I'm saying?
There are over 100. Pick one.
Right.
You only being there for like the top level athletes, especially like basketball. Mm. You only gonna be there for 1 year.
If
anywhere
really
you go,
that good.
So you might as well go to a HBCU. You know what I'm saying? Make sure you gravitate towards them and make sure they got everything.
Oh, you talking about what's name that went to Howard?
No, he went to Howard. That was Thon Maker brother. He went to Howard, but it was the number 1 recruit. I think his name is Mikey something. He was thinking about going, but I think he ended up going to the G League.
Okay, because Howard got somebody now that was a top recruit.
That's Thon Maker brother. Thon Maker brother went to Howard.
Okay.
He went to Howard, and I'm glad that's getting a spotlight on HBCUs so we can get more, sponsorships and more money towards them so we can get like the biggest schools. Right. Because we got talent. You know what I'm saying?
We hold the talent. Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? We got the talent. We got to invest in ourselves.
A lot of people still see HBCUs though as like a discounted university. Like if I go there, then my degree doesn't matter. But there are people who are in much higher places that have been to HBCUs. Yeah. And it's because it's great. Like
it's a degree.
It takes a lot to graduate from an HBCU.
It does.
It takes so much. Not everyone is going to do it. Yeah. Not everyone's going to survive.
The specific school I went to Tuskegee, I went down there. I was going to do animal science. That's the number 1 animal science in the nation, not just HBCUs.
Yeah.
Period.
Most HBCUs have one stellar program that's like, this is our program. This is the best program in the country.
I'm talking about they killing the chickens for fried chicken Wednesday down there. They got farms down there and all that. Like they was serious. I helped castrate a bull.
Oh wow.
Yes.
They was
getting that's lit. What? They was getting greasy down there. They didn't play. We was going to livestock shows. Like we real live had a field trip. I didn't even know we take field trips. I'm like, in college we going on a field trip.
That's hilarious.
Yeah, all our professors the whole day we had to give them something because we going on a field trip for animal science. I'm like, get out of here. We went to the livestock shows at Alabama State Fair. And we had to take notes and stuff, and then fill out the little worksheets for the livestock fair. And then after that, we enjoyed the fair.
That's crazy.
It's crazy. You know what I'm saying? But you won't know that. You know what I'm saying? No. If you know what I'm saying, you still got that mentality. It's just an HBCU.
Well, I think it kind of goes back to what we talked about earlier. It's racism. Yeah. We created the schools because they wouldn't allow us to have our own, and so when we did that, they created a narrative that theirs was better.
So what really happened? So the Rockefellers of the world and the Carnegie Mellons, they funded HBCUs. Like the history, they funded HBCUs. But they funded them because, okay, the Civil War is over, the war is over. Now we got to have these upstanding Negroes to somewhat integrate into society. We won't let them go all the way, but somewhat into society. But then they started turning on its head, and black schools became the schools where black people thought to be leaders, and black people got to do all these other things. So they took their money away. That's why historically black colleges have been underfunded. Yep. The money's been taken away, and now it's like, okay, you want to do your own thing? Now you're on your own.
And then we make a way.
And then
they still try to.
And that's the key. We make a way, and that's been our history. Like, okay,
we are definitely resilient. Fighters and resilient and all
but
that
other
stuff.
countries go through that too. Like, what's the other? Haiti. You know why Haiti's so poor? Haiti's so poor because of France. I read a video. Yeah, they revolted. So they was not trying to be slaves no more. So they revolted and
they won.
They won, but France came back, double strapped up. Mm-hmm. Was like, look, we're gonna take over this unless you pay us back. So basically, for maybe hundreds of years, they had to pay a certain amount, like not just money, like their resources, their plant life and stuff like that. They had to give that all to the French just to be free.
Well, you think about a lot of
That
African countries, like Nigerian Independence Day. That's 1963 is when they got
Yeah.
independence. This is like when my parents and stuff like that. Like, it is fresh. Like, this is imperialism and racism. Its arms are long. Its reach is wide, and it's not like a thing of the past.
No.
We are like it. They're still, heavily. Like South Africa and all that stuff, where there's racism, and I'm like, how you go to Africa and then tell the people that live there that they're lower when you move there? Like, this, it wasn't even your thing. It's all crazy.
And that's why I was, trying to get to earlier, as far as saying that, growing up here in the areas is rough because we do a lot of wicked shit to ourselves, to each other, but outside the area, we still got people trying to keep us down and oppress us. But here in the area, we grit on each other, we nasty to each other, what you looking at, or where you from, or just a whole bunch of dumb, stupid shit that don't really matter once you leave the area.
Yeah.
But I can get it sometimes because things do happen that are inappropriate, and people do react the way they're going to react just to, have some sort of revenge. But at the same time, like we all said, like, the world is bigger than D.C., Maryland, and Virginia.
Yeah.
Yeah. I think people starting to slowly get it. Like, especially our generation, we starting to slowly get it. But
What's your generation? Are we not the same generation?
we are.
I said our.
Millennials. Yeah,
I hear you
millennials.
like
Yeah.
yours. I was like, wait, I thought we was.
No, I said yeah. I was agreeing. Yeah. Yeah, like going down to college, like, really opened my eyes to, like, different, like how she was saying, like, even though I went to HBCU, I had plenty of interactions with white people because I was in Alabama. But a lot of them don't know certain things that they say is racist.
Yeah.
Like,
They think that it's
like,
just,
like, I had a conversation with this one dude, and somehow he brought up anime, and we was having a conversation. He was like, "You watch anime?" And I was like, "Yeah, I watch anime." He was like, "I wouldn't think a person like you would watch anime."
Person like you.
What do you mean a person like me?
better story.
Like, what do you mean a person like me? You know what I'm saying? And asking you if you had your dad in your life and stuff like that. And I'm like, bro, do you know that's racist as fuck? And I'm just asking a simple question. I don't understand why you. That's racist, bro. You can't ask me shit like that. That's like me asking, have you had sex with your sister?
Right.
Like, what?
Yeah.
Like,
Yeah.
the face that you just made, that's how I'm feeling right now. I want to hit you dead in your throat right now.
Yeah.
Like, what you thinking? Like, what?
Yeah.
No, I had a girl that was in my dorm that I kind of got close to. It was a white girl. And the biggest thing for me culturally shock was like the slang. When I went down there, I'm like, this is completely different. I need y'all to have subtitles. What the fuck are y'all saying? Some people would text me, right? And I would have to read the text message out loud to see if I could understand it, like, phonetically or whatever. And so she was, it's a white girl who, lived in, like, a white family and stuff. And I guess this black guy texted her. And she was like, what does this mean? I'm like, girl, I'm not from here. I don't know. He's like, what? I thought all y'all. And I'm like,
All y'all talk the same.
I'm like, what you mean?
All y'all talk the same.
What do you mean? Oh, y'all. I was confused and
No, Becky didn't.
she did. She really did. And that same person, I mean, she was pretty honest. She's like, yeah, I got black friends, but I know I can't bring a black person home. I was like,
Woo!
right?
Well, a lot of them do it anywhere.
I mean, and to me, that's more like,
Piss off their parents.
yeah, I don't.
Yeah.
I feel like black men, I want y'all to be better because a lot of these white women, to me, is more like a fetish. But the same thing with black women who date white men. It kind of like I just know.
I don't know.
I told my mother that
I think that
love don't got no color.
yeah, but
If I love the person, I love the person. I know when I get into like a different, different races and stuff, I have asked certain questions. You know what I'm saying? But I'm not going to block the person that I'm supposed to be with because they're a certain race.
No, I'm not saying that. I
know. I'm just saying.
When the language that they use to the reasons why, like, I want a black man because I want cute mixed babies. And I want because they're all aggressive. To me, that's
so retarded, man.
Yeah, it is fetishizing. But I think the issue that black women have, and it's probably something we may just need to get over in the future and just live with, is we have a very strong loyalty to black men that we don't feel back. Like, if a black woman goes through a lot of different checkpoints when she thinks about dating a black man, y'all don't. Like,
that's true.
You mean white man or
a white man? Sorry, yeah, I meant to say that. A black woman, like, thinking like, okay, well, I don't know. Do I have to explain this to him? Like, we go through a lot of different things because deep down we want legacy. We want, like, we're very committed to that idea, and sometimes it just doesn't feel like black men are as committed. That's true. Especially in this area. Yeah.
That's a whole.
I've been to the National Harbor and I was like, DMV black women have a lot of shit going for themselves. Like, grand scale, most of us went to college. Like, most of us actually we checking off some boxes, entrepreneurs. So I went to the National Harbor during the summer and I could count like 8 different like black men with other. And I had to call cars. I almost like lost my shit. I was like, is this, I have so many questions in my mind. Like, are you choosing this person because you just fell for that person? Because I could get that. I have no problems with interracial, like, who you love is who you love. But did you choose this person because you as a black man decided in your mind, I'm tired of black women? Those are the questions that come up in our mind.
Well, I think a lot of it is, it takes a strong black man to date a strong black woman. Yeah. And a lot of black men nowadays aren't very strong. So I think that's part of it. I think the other part of it, too, is that, they feel like, well, if I date a white woman, the police ain't gonna bother me. Nah, they still gonna bother you, bro. They still gonna bother you.
And another thing a lot of nice guys tend to go outside their race. No. I'm talking about nice. As far as I'm really speaking, like me. Nice. I'm talking about like legit nice dudes. That's genuine. A lot. I'm not gonna say all black women, but a lot of black women don't give you the time of day. When you genuinely nice.
Man, we're gonna continue this. We're gonna continue this conversation.
I had a female real live was about to fight me for holding the door open. Just the door, and had nothing attached, nothing, like, not looking back at it like, damn, like, just strictly on the door, like, why you open the door for me? I'm like, yo, I was raised right, like, what? You know what I'm saying?
Black women have a lot of reasons to feel guarded. And a lot of black women,
I understand.
Some of us, we're privileged, we grew up with our fathers, but a lot of black women, if you didn't grow up with a man in the house, you won't know. Yeah. Very, very strong women. And when a woman has to be the mom and the dad, and then you're raising your daughter in that type of environment, all those things factor in, like, it's very hard for us to just be soft because now we're weak, and then it's so many different
I want to add to that, and I think a lot of what hasn't happened, and black men gotta have accountability for all the trauma that you put black women through. For us to,
we will not call the police and let you beat our ass because we know
we have a hard shell because of like a lot of things that we've gone through because of you guys.
Yeah, that's why good black men go through the stuff that we go through now, because all the bullshit that all the other men that did to y'all. And then when we genuinely come to y'all don't know if it's genuine or not.
This is a multiple part
obviously
topic.
What we talked about wasn't even Battle of the Sexes.
We gotta come back. We gotta come back and talk about this.
To be continued. But thank you guys for coming through.
Thank you.
Thanks for having us. No Follow us. And, listen, we're on everywhere. Trying to
That's why you're blocked.
That's why you're blocked.
Go follow them.
All right.
And make sure you like, comment, subscribe.
All right. Thank y'all for tuning in to the show. This is Spade of Spades podcast. We'll see y'all in 2 weeks. We out. Be safe. Peace.